Thank you, Ambassador. His Excellency Ambassador Peter van Acker, Ambassador of the Kingdom of Belgium to Malaysia, ambassadors, head of Research Institute, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to all of you today at the launch of the book on assessing and addressing urban poverty in Malaysia, social mobility through entrepreneurship. Before I go further, let me welcome Ambassador to Malaysia. Selamat datang ke Malaysia, and I hope you will stay. I will hope you will enjoy your stay in Malaysia. We had a very fruitful relationship with the former ambassador, Ambassador Pascal. We misses him, and I look forward to see him in Saudi Arabia. This book is part of an ongoing project of research on urban poverty in Malaysia, initiated by His Excellency Mr. Pascal Gregory, the former Ambassador of Belgium to Malaysia, together with the Embassy of Belgium, Center for Market Education, and Baid Al-Aman. It started in April 2021 with an online webinar and to uncover and raise awareness of those whose suffering have always been left untold. And this research project culminates with the publication of this book, authored by my very dear friend, Dr. Carmelo Ferlito and Benedict. Both are very inspirational and outstanding economists, and very well known among the political leaderships in Malaysia for their very controversial views at times. Very controversial. But being controversial is perfectly fine, especially when you are a foreigner in Malaysia. I want to congratulate both of them for taking effort to better understand and explore fresh approaches to address urban poverty. And this book indeed is very timely in the world that we live today. Ladies and gentlemen, the world is witnessing very serious disparity. Disparity between the haves and the have-not, and disparity between the privileged and the underprivileged. Day after day, we are seeing the gap widen, not only between the regions and nations, but also between countries and cities. We cannot allow this to continue. Collective action is urgently needed to connect the two worlds in our cities. A new urban geography must be championed, one that provides hope and dignity to the poor. Urban poverty is not just the lack of means and resources. It is the lack of opportunities. It is a constraint for people to live up to their true potential. For too many of our urban poor, life is one day at a time, unable to charge their very own destiny. Available data tells us something very worrying. Not only the living conditions of the poor have not improved over time, but it has worsened by factors such as pandemic, corruption, poor governance, and climate change. Factors beyond their control. The number of urban poor has drastically increased. Only 20 years ago, only 1/4 of Malaysia's poor was living in urban areas. Now half of the Malaysian poor are found in our cities and towns. Those numbers are not just statistics. They represent people, their lives, and the collective human stories. Coincidentally, urban poor exists at a time when we are in the midst of global economic revolution, propelled by the advancements of knowledge, digitalization, and connectivity. While technological advancements and greater globalization have modernized cities, it has also contributed to greater inequality among its inhabitants. Ladies and gentlemen, cities, if properly planned and administered, could offer unlimited potential for human development and progress. The strategy is to ensure that cities can be productive and inclusive at the same time. We need to build this interdependence. It doesn't come easy. We have to dedicate resources and efforts to make it happen. Our goal is supposed to stop excluding the poor from the benefits of urban life. Our challenge is how can we integrate the poor into the future of our cities and towns. I wish to argue that in making our cities more inclusive, more pro-poor, and sustainable, we need two things right. The first is leadership, the second is the new metropolitan governance. Urban poverty is beyond statistics and how we measure poverty indexes. We need great leaders to overcome. Someone who is democratically elected, someone who is competent and engaging. However, it is a growing concern that our leadership skills, either in business, in politics, or in society, are rapidly falling behind the complexity of challenges that we are facing. Nothing is more crucial than the centrality of leadership and politics in running effective cities and reducing urban poverty. Good leaders are the drivers of change that could deliver people security and access to quality services. Cities need someone who could withstand greater scrutiny, accountability, and transparency. Someone who recognizes that an inclusive dialogue involving everyone is very crucial in cities management, because cities belong to citizens. The best managed cities are those where local leaders prioritize the needs of their citizens and are able to involve the community in implementing the most realistic solutions. And that's why local authority leaders must be elected, so that they could be made accountable for their actions and policies. I urge the government to start a pilot project to elect mayors and local councillors. Things need to change. Elections provide voters with choices of competing candidates, platforms, and parties. They provide a mechanism for holding representatives accountable for their performance in office and allow citizens a degree of control over their elected representatives, which is crucial for a just society. Now let me go to my second point: good metropolitan governance. Urban areas are socio-economic and environmental entities that go beyond historically defined administrative borders. To argue that the resources, including capital, technology, and human skills, that are required to address urban poverty and underdevelopment are limited, and that's the reason for the current state of urban poverty in Malaysia, is seriously misleading. Resources and skills are in abundance, but they are allocated and managed very poorly. Better governance could improve city status as a center for growth and economic progress, although growth itself is so inefficient, so insufficient to reduce incidence of poverty. It must be paired with social policies that encourage and enable the poor to develop and succeed. New metropolitan governance must address urban poverty with a different approach, the whole society approach. Poverty, shelter, employment, skills, and environment are deeply interlinked. Just look at how the pandemic had contributed to a sharp increase in the urban poor population and a significant reduction in our urban middle class, something we have never thought about or considered before. ultimately, the new approach must place greater emphasis on the dignity of the poor and their participation in the social and political life as one of the main criteria for a functioning society, and not just measure them based on the income. It's about promoting upward social mobility. It could be intergenerational or even better, intra-generational social mobility. It must be people-centered and society-centered, where everyone can contribute productively and enjoy the benefits of urban life. In Bait Amanah, we will continue to work with all stakeholders and promote the idea of an inclusive, modern, and democratic governance system as a way to collectively fight urban poverty. In addition, Bait Amanah is also embarking on a new project to research rural development in Malaysia. This follows our previous research work on rural rejuvenation, which seeks to create economic opportunities to overcome rural poverty. Ladies and gentlemen, we greatly welcome opportunities for collaboration and strategic partnership for our project. As such, we're looking forward to networking and discussing how we can work together to address poverty. Once again, I would like to express my utmost appreciation to His Excellency Peter van Acker, Ambassador of the Kingdom of Belgium, His Excellency Mr. Pascal Gregory, the former Ambassador, the Belgium Embassy, the Center for Market Education, and for all those people who have been supporting our project. Thank you again, and I wish you a very fruitful discussion with the two authors. Thank you very much.